Good morning, my dear brothers, sisters, friends. Today is Sunday, December 13th, 2015. It is an honor for me to be here the first time in the public to share my Buddhist practice with many of you. I came here 9 years ago. So after 9 years, I have a chance to come back here to visit many Buddhist members according to the invitation of the abbess of the Phước Temple in Charlotte, North Carolina. And today I have a chance to share some of the practice with the Vietnamese Buddhist community in Charlotte and the vicinity. I would like to share with you a brief story. Maybe we can take this story and apply into our daily life. As you know that Buddhist is not a religion as we used to think. Buddhism is the way to practice. When you're able to cultivate the beautiful way to live in your daily life, we live in such a way that we're able to cultivate and offering the happiness not only for ourselves, not enough, because that is not compassion enough. We not only to please ourselves, but we need to practice in such a way that we're able to make our loved one happy also. There was a lady who came to see a monk, and she asked the master, "Master, how can I live so I can attract by many people?" So she wants people to attract her. She wants people to focus on her. Because she has no friends. She has no one to talk. No, she has no one to listen to her. She feels very lonely. So she came to the master and asked how can she live and what can she do so she can have more friends. And the master told her, you should try to live in such a way that you're able to talk. We need to talk in such a way that to make others feel comfortable with the way we talk. In Buddhist practice, we call loving speech. We are speaking every day. We are talking every day. But the practice here is how can we talk? How can we use the words so people feel comfortable with the words we use? It's like we always want to make food for others. And before we make the food, what do we think? We want to reflect what kind of food that others people like. We always want to make the best. If we have a party, we want to make the best food so to offer to others. Same thing. When we talk, we need to use words in such a way that we make people feel the best with our way. Sometimes we say, this is who am I, so I don't care what people think about me. It's fine to say that. It's fine to live the way we are. But if we accept the way of loneliness, then that's different. But if we want more friends, then we have to change. It's like we go to school. We don't care how much mark we have. We just do what we want. Then we were in school, but no grade, no degree, no certificate, we never have a chance to get a good mark. If we want to improve in our mark, in our report card, then we have to change the way we study. We have to make sure that we correct all our mistakes that we have done in our homework. So what is the word here? To or practice means to change, to reform. If we want things to be better, we expect others to be better, or we want the others to change, then why don't we change? Life is only, we still express what we want, but now all we need to do is change the way to share. Change the way we express. That's different. It's like when you have a bowl of pho, it's too salty. What do? Squeeze in a piece of lime. Then you will make your soup feel better. Only one piece of lime, but it makes the taste better. If it's not too salty enough, just a little bit of salt or soy sauce, you make your pho better. So life is like that. Just sometimes we reduce a little bit or we increase a little bit, things change. And this is Buddhism. Buddhism is not only prayers, bowing to Buddha, asking Buddha for blessing, but Buddhism is very, very reality in our daily life is we do something that we're able to make ourselves happy. And sometimes we see the happiness of the others is our own happiness. So we talk, we use the truth, it's not enough. But we need to express how people can feel the truth is really truth. Sometimes you will hurt your parents or Vietnamese people used to say, oh, tụng kinh, prayer. But what is the word kinh in Buddhism explanation? If we want to express the word kinh in a complete word, we have to say khe kinh. Kinh in Buddhism means it fits with the truth. It's also fit with the level of listeners, of the learners. Sometimes you say something, it's very true, but people cannot take the words. People cannot take the way you expressed. They still don't understand what you're talking about. So if you want to talk about something, make sure you know who you are talking to. It's like your parents. Sometimes they speak to you in Vietnamese. They try to use a simple word so you can understand what are they talking about. And I'm sure if you nghe cải lương, Vietnamese opera, you will never understand what they're talking about. But we do. When we listen to cải lương, Vietnamese opera, we know what are they talking about. But you can listen, but you don't know how they express it. So you maybe listen to other simple musics, as long as you understand what they're talking. So kinh is not only contain the words of the Buddha. When you want to talk to someone, you guide someone, you also need to reflect. Who are they? What can I use in order to give them the truly learning? So the masters told her to avoid your loneliness. Loving speech. Sometimes the sound you expressed, you may make people uncomfortable. You may call mom. You have a phone call. The way you call your mom, sometimes you feel that you're angry. But the way you call her, does she feel that? You just pick up the phone and you call her for the phone. Sometimes we say no to something, but make people feel that we are angry. That's why we say no. Sometimes we say yes, but people feel that we don't like it. We just yes because, we have to yes, but we have no choice. So the sound of the way we're speaking is also important. That's why in Buddhism we have the gong, the bell when we chant. Because sound makes people comfortable. So this is the instruments to remind us. These instruments make everybody in harmony for chanting. Up and down, beautiful voice. Same thing. It's also remind us we need to use the sound, the voices in our daily life. Also, we have to act in such a way that people feel comfortable, happy with the way we act. For example, in Vietnamese tradition, when we talk to someone, we look at that person, but we are unable to point to that person because that is not polite enough. So when we talk to someone, we cannot point to their face. It's like we are bossy then. But we also cannot talk to them, but we turn away. But we need to talk. Not only the sound, the words, but eyes also contact. It's very reality. When you go to the restaurant, you call for a dish. Even they cook good. But what happened? They need to arrange the dish look delicious. You do not taste it yet. But when you look at the food, you feel happy with how they arrange your dish. Because you feel what? You pay for. You pay for. You don't want, even they cook good. But they have to arrange good too. So good looking, good taste. Same thing. The way we speak is good. But how to express the sound, how we act, is like tradition. So in the Buddhist practice, meditation means we're able to apply our deep looking into our daily life. Meditation is not only when you sit on the cushion, but you should apply meditation all day long. Before you speak, before you act, before you do something. And use the mind. So the masters told her, your words, your sound, your action, and your heart. Sometimes suffering is a good lecture for all of us to learn. Because without suffering, we never experience what is called happiness. You never fall down, you never learn what is hurting and how to stand up. And once you can stand up after you fell, you will appreciate. So in order to avoid your loneliness, this is something we need to cultivate and transform. We all know that. We are living. We eat, we drink, we breathe, everything as usual. But if we just keep the negative behavior, the negative speech, the negative action, then the negative life. But if everything possible, everything positive, then we also have a positive result. When we take refuge, the three refuges, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Dharma means the way to practice, the way to change ourselves. In this life, there are so many ways. But if we took the wrong way, we will arrive at the wrong destination. If we took the right way, we will arrive to the right destination. When you start right, you will end right. When you start wrong, you will end wrong. So, no one can give us anything. Our life is in our hand. We want to change it, we change it. We don't want to change, nothing can make a change. So the practice here is your good intent. We all need to cultivate the good intent. What is the good intent here? To change ourselves. If we want to change life, just change the way we talk. Change the way we act. Change the way we think. Things will be changed. Do you get an idea what I try to share? We need to use action, speaking and thinking every day. But instead of all the thinking, the action, the talking is negative, try to make it positive. One day the Buddha passed by a group of children. They tried to knock on the fish head just to play. The Buddha said, "What are you doing?" They said, "Oh, we try to play game around with the fish." Each of them holding a stick and try to knock on the fish, and the fish, jumping and very suffering with their knocking. The Buddha say, let's say if one of you lie down and we all come and hit on your body, do you enjoy that way? No way. The Buddha said, whatever you do not want, do not do to others. We don't want to be hurt. Others do. Others the same. So Buddhism is not something, above on the air that we cannot reach. Buddhism is right here. When you're able to sit with your family to enjoy the meal together. I have a close memory. Before I go to Australia, I went to the hospital and visited him. After a month I come back, he was very ill. And we never think he died. He will pass away that soon. And before I come here, I have to attend his funeral. Because he unable to survive with his liver transplant. And the son of him come up to share. He said, we never expect and believe that my father died that soon. So I just want to remind everybody, life is short and fragile. Do not wait until your loved one dies, pass away. You feel regret because you never spend time with him or her. So try to spend the time, whatever you can, especially the meal together every day. Don't worry about who comments anything on your Facebook. You still have chance to read later. But when you have meal, try to put that iPhone away. We have iPhone, we have iPad, but sometimes we need to remind ourselves, I eat, I pray, more than iPhone and iPad. 20 years ago, we have no iPhone, we're still okay. But how come now we suffer because of the iPhone? So that means the iPhone, we are the servants of the iPhone. We are the servants of the iPad. I don't mean it's wrong to use, but we need to be careful in how to use. This is the practice in Buddhism. Buddhism never encourages us to avoid anything, but we need to learn how to moderate technology and daily living. If we're able to moderate that, we are the one who are the boss of technology. Because they come here to serve us, but now we become the servants of them. And this is something opposite. And if we do not reflect on that, and the more we live, the more we sunk, instead of the more we move up. The more we heavy, instead of the more we feel light. So why we light the incense? Because the smoke of the incense very light. symbolize for our mind. Remind ourselves. We need to live and learn and live in such a way that we feel light like the smoke. Free, not to sink down like the ash. If we're too heavy, we fall down like the ash. If we are light, we are evaporate. We fly up like the smoke. The flowers on the altar symbolize for impermanent. Nothing can stay forever. It's fresh and beautiful today. It will be die in the next few more days. So soon as when it's still fresh, enjoy it. We cannot come back younger. We only can. The only way to go is older. Then the older we live, the more experience we learn, the better we are. This is Buddhism. Again, Buddhism is the education to educate us to live in such a way that we are more happy every day. Thank you for your listening.